Hi, this is Phil Jamieson, and you're listening to the Mixtape. Oh, that's a great question. Oh, man. I'm a dreamer, as you probably can notice. So
No, it's
I was like,
fantastic.
what about we do this? What about we do this? And hence why I've got 44 shows.
This is the Mixtape podcast. I am your host, Mark. If you enjoy this week's episode, please feel free to rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find over 140 archive episodes just by visiting themixtapepodcast.com. And there you will also find the link to my Mixcloud. On the Mixcloud channel, you can also hear the music that my guests pick for their mixtape. Also on the website are my social media links and YouTube channel. You can find all of that good stuff at themixtapepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode. That was Weekends, the lead-off single from the brand new album from Phil Jamieson. That's called 10 Charlie. That single's out now wherever you stream your music, and the album is out on the 14th of August. And I'm delighted to be joined by Phil now. How are you, mate?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. First question I had, Phil, when I read the presser was the album title, 10 Charlie. What does that mean, mate? What is that a reference to?
That is a reference to an aisle seat on a 737 10C. So basically what I was attempting to do, and I don't know whether I achieved it, but basically the record is a boarding pass. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. And whether I like it or not, I've spent a lot of time on aeroplanes over the last 30 years. And this body of work is it's a little bit there were some turbulent things going on, and like life does life things. Life does cartwheels and push-ups every now and again. And so just trying to navigate that. And so, yeah, that's why it's called 10 Charlie.
And I love the way you've tied in your merch with that theme as well. You've got like little magnet boarding passes and stuff like that. And one thing that I saw that I absolutely loved, and it's philjamieson.com.au if you want to check out any of the merch. There's the usual like t-shirt bundles and vinyl bundles and CDs and all that. But slippers, mate. I've never seen slippers before on a merch page. How did they come about?
So really leaning into the boarding pass and like the PJ Air tour. I also wanted to say, when you fly business class, which I rarely do, or you often get slippers. And I tried to make as well the eye masks, but it was becoming ridiculously expensive to actually manufacture. So yeah, you can grab slippers. You get your first class PJ Air 10 Charlie experience, a little magnet. But yeah, we were really leaning in. We wanted to make, when you fly in like a red eye, sometimes they give you a little travel pack with like the toothbrush and the slippers and the eye mask and stuff, but ended up being a little bit over the top. I'm a dreamer, as you probably can notice. So
no, it's fantastic.
I was like, what about we do this? What about we do this? And hence why I've got 44 shows. So I'm also aiming for, that's a bit of a dream as well to achieve that.
Yeah, so let's talk about the shows then. So the PJ Air Tour, I think it kicks off in June, but I won't rattle off all the dates because, as you said, there's over 40 shows. But for Perth and WA folks, it is the 27th of August, Mojo's. The 28th is Frothcraft Brewery in Bunbury. It's a river in Margaret River on the 29th, and then Indian Ocean Hotel back in Perth, Scarborough on Sunday the 30th. Looking at the dates, Phil, and the venues, they seem to be better venues in terms of a gig going experience and a lot more intimate. But you're also getting out and about from the major sort of metropolitan cities as well. Was that like a conscious thing that you tried to do with this tour?
So basically, I did this really fun tour with my day job, Grinspoon, in 2024, where we did 46 shows. And that included the capital cities as well, but we kind of went everywhere. It was like, and I had the best fun. And obviously that was on a much larger scale. It was with semi-trailers and, confetti bombs and strobe lights and 1,000 decibel guitars and whatnot. But for this one, I spoke to my agent. I was like, how many I really wanted to do, I love writing, recording, and playing. That's my three things that I love doing. And I really love the songs on this record. So I went, hey, I want to play them to people. And so the opportunity arose. I've never come to WA as a solo. Like I haven't done my 2022 record, never got a solo tour there. I've never played Mojo's in Fremantle in my life. So, and I've been there as a punter, so I can't wait to play there. And I've never played Froth either. I've done the River before. So, yeah, if the opportunity arises for me to do a gig, no matter if it's 5,000 people or if it's 50, I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I'm built for. I love playing songs. I love especially playing my own songs. And yeah, it's just the opportunity arose and I'm kind of taking it. And also on that, I'm trying to make, the world's pretty wild out there at the moment. It's expensive to buy milk. So in saying that, it's a double-edged sword. It's just sometimes you need to go out to not think about what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think the tickets are $50 or thereabouts. So I've tried to keep it as affordable as possible so people can still afford a schooner when they come and watch.
I love Mojo's myself. I always like to give them a good shout because they're a fantastic venue. And I used to have a sort of quick fire 5 questions that I used to ask local Perth and WA acts. And one of those was, what's your favourite Perth or WA venue? And it was just Mojo's. Like 70% of people said Mojo's. It's fantastic. Get out the Mojo's crew in Freo. All right, let's do your quick fire 5 questions, Phil, just around touring and the live show. We'll get to the mixtape tracks at the end, but we'll do these ones first. So first of all, do you have a pre-show ritual?
Look, no, but yes. Like I generally, like I spent a bit of time doing some musical theatre a few years ago now, and they taught me how to warm my voice up. So weirdly, doing this many shows a week, I'm doing 5. I do a little warm up. I have a cup of tea. And generally, I try to get a little bit of quiet time, just to sort of get in the zone. But I don't really have a ritual as such. I don't Dave Grohl it. I don't have whiskey. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any of that stuff. I just sort of, get myself in the zone. What the biggest thing for me is I have to enjoy. It's quite selfish, but I have to enjoy myself. Otherwise, I don't like the people that are coming are the most important people, the $50 people. Thank you for coming. But also if I'm not enjoying myself, I don't know, I can't, there's no way anyone else is. So I really feel for me to get the best out of the gig, I've got to be a little bit selfish and play the songs I want to play to the best of my ability. So in that sense, it'll be maybe a little cup of tea, maybe a little warm up, maybe a cuddle with Ricky Olbeck, who's coming on tour with me for the whole 44 shows, and that's sort of my ritual.
And what's on your tour rider, mate? Anything weird or interesting?
Coconut water, tonic water, soda water, towels, socks, candles, and a local weather celebrity, either from television or radio. So, I got Tip Bailey once, which was good. Basically, on these, I don't really need a lot. I just require. The Grinners rider is ludicrous. I think because we started in the 90s, riders were just so much more elaborate, expansive, and a bit of a flex. And Grinners still carry that to this day.
Fair enough. If you get away with it, why not?
But for me, it's really basic. I don't really need much.
Do you have one essential item that you always take on tour with you from home, like a home comfort or something that you always need to take on tour?
I take this. It's a Soundburger portable record player and also the Bluetooth speaker. So they're an amazing little bit of kit, and it allows me to go and visit record shops in the local area. Sometimes you've got a bit of time to kill between soundcheck or pre-soundcheck before you check into the hotel. So you buy a record in every town you go to and play it backstage. So yeah, that's an essential part of touring for me, is actually visiting local record stores, because they really provide, I think, I grew up buying records as well. And I think now that records have had such a resurgence and there's so much independent record shops out there. So the Soundburger for me, and little setup so I can, and then me and Ricky will go on deep dive, maybe even to op shops, so you can always find some good vinyl there as well.
Yeah, love a bit of Kamal. That's always, you always dig up a bit of Kamal in the op shops. Yeah, good one. What is your favourite city to play live, Phil?
Oh, look, I love Melbourne. I think Melbourne's a great live city, live music. I just like going out to shows here, actually. Like, there's so many shows. I saw Slayford Mods here on a Monday night, for example.
Yeah, I saw him on that tour the last couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago. Yeah, it was a great show.
yeah, it was fantastic. So, like, I love playing Melbourne. I love playing Brisbane. I love playing Perth. It's been, yeah, so. But yeah, over the years, there's been some definitely interesting cities. I got to play Seoul in South Korea, which was a wild place to play. But no, I just played Auckland recently as well, which was a real buzz. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And finally, in this little section, if you could time travel to any concert in history, which concert would you choose?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh man. Wouldn't mind seeing that Beatles rooftop gig.
That is the most common answer in that question. Yeah, loads of people pick that one. Is that or Woodstock or Bowie? Anywhere, yeah, they're the pretty. But that one comes up all the time. Yeah,
I got to see Bowie. I got to see Prince. I was lucky. I got to see Lou Reed. I've seen Iggy Pop. So I've got to see them, but I never saw the Beatles. So
yeah,
I would have loved to see that. I mean that rooftop thing's pretty badass.
I interviewed Mike Scott from the Waterboys last night, and that was his choice as well. He said exactly the same. Yeah, the Beatles.
You're listening to the Mixtape.
All right, we'll quickly run through your 3 mixtape track choices. Normally we do 6, but we're a bit limited for time, so we're going to do the mixtape EP today, which is the 3 track choices. So a track 1 mixtape choice, Phil, is an attention grabber. What did you choose for that?
Oh man, this is a really, like, I love these questions, but it's almost impossible to pick.
I know.
But I went for Sunday Morning Coming Down by Chris Christopherson. I've only just heard this song recently. I did a show in Adelaide, and we had a very early checkout the next morning, about 4:30 a.m. We get to Adelaide Airport. My guitarist in my solo band, Rob Munoz, who's a genius as well, had a bit of a night and missed lobby calls. It was a little bit, sideways. And in Adelaide Airport, there's a piano, and he gets on the piano in front of all these people who are all bleary-eyed as well at 6 a.m. and rips out this version of Sunday Morning Coming Down. And usually that would be really annoying. Who is this? It was so beautiful and so poignant, actually, at the time. If you have never heard the song, please go and listen to it. And that's why it's an attention grabber, because it literally was 2 weeks ago in Adelaide Airport on a Sunday morning. So I actually got on there and played the Commodores, Easy Like Sunday Morning, and he's like, no, we're doing Chris Christopherson. So that's my attention grabber.
Track 2 of your mixtape, a song you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self.
Let's go with Massive Attack Teardrop, just because there's something about how enveloping this is in an audio sense, especially when it's really loud. One of the most beautiful productions that hasn't aged. It still sounds so incredible right now. But yeah, my 18-year-old mind would have. It's just a big mood for this song, and so beautiful lyrically. I think the songwriter Liz was actually writing about Jeff Buckley, who just passed and who drowned. So I didn't. Yeah, there's that beauty in the sorrow of this song as well. But yeah, like, it's breathtaking, that song. My 18-year-old self was all about visceral sort of punk attitude and anger. This song has this beauty, and it's also quite enlightened and on a bit of a higher meditative level, which I don't know whether my frontal cortex was developed enough at 18, but I would have loved to hear it back then. Yes.
I had one word note against that choice, and that was timeless, which is exactly what you said there with Massive Attack. It could come out tomorrow, that track, and it would still sound so contemporary. Yeah, amazing.
Same as Porter said, actually, a lot of that stuff really hasn't aged, that trip hop. It's incredible how good it sounds today.
Yeah. And the final one for your mixtape, Phil, is and another. I'm going to give a tenuous Jeff Buckley link to this one: a deep cut album track or B-side.
Lilac Wine, Anita Simone off The Wild, with The Wild. Yes, so this is this is not her own song, which she makes it her own, and weirdly, funnily enough, it's Jeff Buckley did cover it as well. I was familiar with Nina Simone, like adjacently, and then I read Warren Ellis's book, and just it's called Nina Simone's Gum, and became absolutely enamored with her, same as Warren is, and took some deep dives into Nina's career. And my daughter actually bought me this record on that I play on my Soundburger, which has this beautiful rendition of it. So yeah, I mean, there's so much can be said about Nina Simone. It is a deep cut, but it's hauntingly beautiful. And for a cover, it sounds like she's lived the song, and that's all you want from a cover, right? You don't want the artist to make it their own. I know it sounds cheesy, but that's the truth. Yeah, you don't want to phone in a cover, and you wouldn't even know she didn't write this song. It's so beautiful.
You've almost covered off 4 out of the 6 mixtape tracks there, because the other choice that we didn't get to was what's your favourite cover version. So we've got two for one there, and so that's fantastic. Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, mate. I do apologise for being slightly late and going slightly over time. The new album 10 Charlie is out on the 14th of August. You can pre-save that, pre-order philjamieson.com.au. Get your boarding pass, get your slippers, get your merch bundles also from philjamieson.com.au. Ticket links and everything else, and all the tour dates are there as well. Phil, next time Grinners are on an album cycle, I'd love to get you back on and do the full mixtape again. And yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I'd love to. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Phil. Cheers, mate. Have a good one. See you later.
Cheers. See you. Bye.
Bye, mate. Thank you so much for listening to this week's mixtape. If you would like to get more from the mixtape, you can catch up with over 150 archive episodes by visiting themixtapepodcast.com. Also there you'll find links to the YouTube channel, my social media pages, and my Patreon if you would like to get even more content that doesn't go out on the radio show or the podcast. You can secure your mixtape backstage pass. All of those links are available at themixtapepodcast.com. You've been listening to The Mixtape, and I've been your host, Mark. Until next time.